Well, it's a question some people have been pondering as we continue to work from home. Is it time to pack up and leave the city for a smaller, more affordable place?
Well, here with some of the hidden costs to consider is financial expert Kelly Keane. She joins us this morning from the great city of Edmonton. Kelly, good morning. And let's start with the obvious costs associated with buying and selling a home and moving that people should expect.
Yes, good morning, Carolyn and Jeff. So some of the obvious costs, of course, is the mortgage, your down payment, the moving costs. But here's some things that you want to consider. If you're coming in with less than 20%, you're going to be paying CMHC insurance. So those fees can really add up. But some people may wish to come in with less of a down payment just so they have a little bit on the side for emergencies, for maintenance. And as you were saying, Jeff, if you're going into a community where, to buy is actually less expensive than to rent in a big city, that's not your only cost, right? You also want to consider gas and hydro and property taxes.
Are there other costs and expenses that could surprise people?
Oh, absolutely, Carolyn. So here's a few to think about. How about commuting? Are you still going to need to commute to the big city? If you're going to do that, I know it's still fairly nice around the country right now, but there are those winter storms. Is that going to require you to stay overnight in a hotel? Parking, of course, all that type of stuff. How about furnishing that new big home, especially if you're leaving, the city from a condo? That's certainly a consideration. And then lastly, you're probably not going to have the public transportation to rely on that you did before. So now you're looking at a car and you're looking at gas, insurance, maintenance, maybe snow tires. All of those can add up to big dollars, so don't forget those.
Wow, that's a long list right there of considerations that I'm sure people don't think about, Kelly. Now, here is the big question, though. If people move out of the city right now, and we know that there has been a move or a trend towards that, maybe in a year or so, and we have a vaccine, the pandemic eases, and people want to come back to the city, where will they be financially if they decide they want to move back into a more urban environment?
It's a really great point, Jeff, because a lot of people, when life does get back to normal, they'll want to be back in the city and all that type of stuff. So will you be able to sell your home for what you paid for it? That's a big consideration. If you're going to ditch that car that you now bought, depreciation is killer. So you want to really look at those numbers as well. And then, of course, just the cost of moving. On average, I was looking it up, can be around $4,000. If you're doing that twice in a couple of years, my goodness, that is a lot of money. And then, of course, right now with this mass exodus, why not talk to your landlord and see if you can actually get a better deal before you're thinking about buying? So explore all of your options.
All very good points to consider. Kelly Keane, thank you so much.
Thanks, Caroline and Jeff.